after a grueling campaign and harsh retreat, the army settled into winter quarters in Portugal to recover. To combat boredom, officers and soldiers organized races, tennis matches, balls, shooting parties, and plays. Despite these distractions, Gairdner remained frustrated by Colonel Cameron's relentless nitpicking, which continued to test his patience. If you enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe. This is Gairdner's journal. These are his words. Let's begin. November 30th, 1812. March this morning at about 7 o'clock to La Alameda de Gardun, about 3 miles. It is to be our winter cantonment. Colonel Cameron, not forgetting his old pique, took every opportunity of finding fault with me and with the company because I commanded it today. Dirty, low-lived work. General Alton and the staff of the division are here. His quarters are not very good. Today being St. Andrew's Day, we all dined together, had a very fair dinner. The 43rd are at Gallegos, 52nd at Nave de Havre, 2nd Battalion 95th at Espeja, 1st and 3rd Caçadores and Vandeleur at Fuentes do Noro, other regiments where they were before, namely, Sexmiro, Martillon, and Barquilla. I rode with Leach and Doyle to Almeida, 4 leagues from here. It is a small but very neat fortress. The works which the French destroyed are repairing very fast, all the earthwork is finished, and the facing of stone is getting on very well. The town itself is a filthy, dirty, miserable place. There are, however, very good shops in it, much better than in Rodrigo. We went by way of Vale de Mula, which is in Portugal, close on the bank of the small river Turin, which divides Portugal from Spain. On the Spanish side of the Turin, just opposite to Vale de Mula, is Fort Concepcion, a very beautiful fort which has been destroyed by the French and English. Coming through Vale de Mula on our way back, we were entreated by a woman of the place to make some Portuguese caçadores assist her in burying the body of an English soldier who had died in her house, which these brutes, though sitting at their ease in the marketplace, refused to carry 20 yards to a grave that was ready dug. We arrived at home about dark. December 1st. It is in contemplation to have a regimental mess. I do not think it will answer. 3rd to 5th. Blank. 6th. Walk today to Fort Concepcion. It has been a beautiful fort. The fort itself consists of 4 bastions and 4 curtains. The only ground that is not completely commanded by the guns of the fort is on the left of it, as you look towards Portugal, and here are 2 outworks in a line with each other in the fort. The first is a circular work with a passage through the center of it. The outer work is what I believe is called a ravelin. It is in the shape of a flesh. They are both of stone. The outer work is connected with the inner one by a covered way, which is connected with the inner work in like manner. There is one thing here which I never saw in any fortification before, namely, on the covered way or crest of the glacis of the outer work or ravelin are stone walls, loopholed. All the works are completely destroyed, having been blown up by both the French and English. In the main work are many human skeletons and bones. Came home through Aldea del Obispo and Castillejas de dos Casas. 7th. There being no straw nearer than Barba del Puerco and it being my tour of duty to go for forage, I rode with the batmen of the regiment there today. It is a full 4 leagues from Almeida. In passing through Villar de Ciervo, General Victor Alton, who is quartered there with the 1st Hussars, told me he had that morning sent a party to bring all the forage away and advised me not to go there. I, however, went on and found plenty. The country between Villar de Ciervo and Barba del Puerco is rocky and uncultivated, with a good deal of wood. Barba del Puerco is a nice village. It is situated on the left bank of the Agueda. On the opposite bank is St. Felices de los Gallegos, as it is down in the map, but I have generally heard it called St. Felices Grande. There is a bridge across the Agueda at this place. The banks of the river are most tremendously steep, and this pass is the most formidable, without exception, I ever saw, for even if there were no opposition, it would be impossible to get cannon up or down, yet the French attempted to carry it when our regiment was there about 3 years ago. The arch of the bridge nearest Barba de Puerco has been destroyed. The arch is not repaired again, but a passage carried onto the bridge from one side. As a proof of how little confidence the Spaniards place in commissaries' vals, when I offered the owner of the straw the val, he was sitting among a great many women. They all burst out laughing, and he said it was very good paper for cigars but worth nothing more. 8th. The regimental mess commenced this day. The paymaster has agreed to advance the money, which is to be stopped from the officers at each issue. 9th to 12th. Blank. 13th. The mess answers admirably well, much better than I expected. It is a capital thing, though at first, we did not pull exactly together. 14th. Blank. 15th. Lord Wellington is gone to Cadiz. 16th. Blank. 17th. There is pay issuing now to the army in guineas. There has been a proclamation issued by the Portuguese government that they are to be taken by the Portuguese at 23 pesetas and 2 vintums and a half. I perceive by the general orders of some days back that the following regiments, being weak, have been formed into provisional battalions, namely, 4 companies of the 2nd Battalion 31st and 4th companies of the 2nd Battalion 66 form the 1st Provisional Regiment. 4 companies of the Queen's and 4 companies of the 53rd, 2nd Provisional Battalion. 4 companies of the 2nd Battalion 24th and 4th companies of the 2nd Battalion 58th, 3rd Provisional Battalion. 4 companies of the 2nd Battalion 30th and 4th companies of the 2nd Battalion 44th, 4th Provisional Battalion. The light battalions of the King's German Legion are removed from the light to the 1st Division. Memo: the staff of the remaining companies of the above regiments forming provisional battalions, with the men unfit for service, are to go home. 18th. I was informed by our commissary that they pay for beef 140 reis, or 10 pence halfpenny English money per pound, and 120, or 9 pence, for mutton. The 1st Brigade draws 3,027 rations, the 2nd between 2,000 and 3,000. 19th to 20th. Blank. 21st. A general court-martial has opened in the division, General Vandeleur President. 22nd. A mail from England. 23rd. Blank. 24th. Lieutenant John Gairdner joined this day from England. 25th. Today, being Christmas Day, we had cockfighting and various other sports. Percival and Cox joined today from England, very rainy day. 26th. General Ballesteros has resigned his command in consequence of Lord Wellington being appointed Generalissimo of the Spanish armies. 27th. Blank. 28th. It is said that if Ballesteros had obeyed Lord Wellington's orders, we should never have retired from Madrid and the operations against Burgos would not have been interrupted. 29th to 30th. Blank. 31st. Drank the old year out this night in great style. January 1st, 1813. General Alton and staff dined with us today. We had a mail from England which brought glorious news from Russia. It is reported that the French are fortifying the line of the Douro. 2nd. I remark now that the people here are plowing up their green corn. 3rd. Another mail, more glowing news. I walked to Fuentesta in Lloro today and saw the position Lord Wellington occupied when he was attacked here by the French about 2 years ago. It is reported that the French have evacuated and dismantled Valencia. 4th. Blank. 5th. It is reported that the enemy are concentrating at Salamanca. General Hill is at Coria, a thick fog today. 6th. The same report today concerning the concentration at Salamanca. It is also reported that we are to march to Alverca, foggy day. 7th. It is reported today that there are only a few of the enemy at Salamanca and that those few are going away, clear day and frosty. 8th. Another mail, papers to the 22nd of December, more glorious news from Russia, raining, fair at Almeida. 9th. Blank. 10th. The 1st Battalion went out to the plain between this and Espeja and met there the 3rd Battalion collected on the plain, fine day. 11th. Rain. 12th. White frost, fine. 13th. Rain. 14th. White frost. I rode today with Leach to Vilar Formoso, a dirty little Portuguese village on the bank of the Turin, which river divides the two countries, and came home through Fuentesta and Lloro. 15th. Frosty. 16th to 17th. Blank. 18th. The Light Division have got up a theater by subscription. The chapel at Gallegos is the theater. The first performance is to be this evening and is to be the comedy of She Stoops to Conquer. The Hussars are invited to dine with us today. I went out shooting today, did not dine at the mess, rainy day. 19th to 24th. Blank. 25th. A clear warm day, out shooting, had good sport, mail from England. I remarked that they begin to plough their fallow land about here now. 26th. Lord Wellington returned to headquarters yesterday. He came by Lisbon, which place he entered on the 17th. 27th. Fine day. 28th. Ditto. By last papers, it appears that Maitland has demanded a court-martial. 29th. Fine day and rather frosty. 30th. Very windy, hard frost last night. 31st. Same weather as yesterday. This is the only really cold weather we have had this winter. It has been, without exception, the mildest winter I ever knew. February 1st. Cold, but not as cold as yesterday. Mail from England. 2nd. The Caçadores marched to Ituero today. 3rd. Mail from England. General Vandeleur moves his headquarters to Guinaldo today. 4th. The theatrical geniuses of the division perform the rivals this evening. The Hussars are invited to dine with us. A warm day, the 2nd Battalion marched to El Bodón today. 5th. A fine, warm day. Conversing with a Spanish peasant who was plowing today, he asked me if the Spanish troops kill all their working bullocks wherever they go to feed on. There are various reports concerning the French. One day we hear that they are advancing, another that they are evacuating the country. Went to the play last night. It was very well performed indeed. The theater scenery is excellent. 6th. The nights are now frosty, and the days clear and warm. 7th. Papers arrived yesterday. Glorious news from Russia. A cloudy, mild day. 8th to 10th. Blank. 11th. Windy. 12th. Rainy. The Rivals is to be performed over again tonight, and Lord Wellington will be there. The Hussars and 2nd Battalion are invited. 13th. Went to the play last night. It went off uncommonly well, a fine day. 14th. Rainy. 15th. Fine, rather cloudy. 16th. Drew a bill on England today for £27 tens. There is a scarcity of meat, and they talk of issuing salt fish in lieu of meat. 17th. Blank. 18th. The 1st Battalion are invited to dine with the 3rd today. 19th. I dined with the 3rd Battalion at Espeja yesterday and returned home today, a fine day. 20th. Fine. 21st. Windy but warm. 22nd. The Spaniards have levied a contribution on this place. A fresh supply of bullocks has arrived for our division. They are Portuguese bullocks and are much finer than we in general have. The usual weight of bullocks is 350 pounds. The commissary has signed for a lot at 500 pounds. One was killed today that weighed upwards of 800 pounds. 23rd. Rain. 24th. Rain. The 40th Regiment and 6th Caçadores have been engaged with the enemy near Coria. Our battalion are invited to dine with the Hussars today. I do not intend to go. 25th. Rode to Freinenit today. It is a very fine day. I saw Lord Wellington's stud. They are in fine order. He has 13 saddle horses. It is a dirty village. Came home through Fuentesta and Lloro. No troops there. 26th. The 3rd Battalion dined with us today. Fine day. 27th. Ditto. We have made a racket court here against the church. 28th. We are invited to dine with the 2nd Battalion at El Bodón today. Fine day. It is said that the 4th Division have come from their cantonment on the Douro to this side of the Coa. March 1st. Returned from El Bodón today, a fine day. 2nd. Fine, but not quite so hot. It is said that Soult and 10 men per company have gone to France. The carnival, which began on the 28th, ended today. The women claim the command while it lasts. 3rd. Fine weather, rather windy. 4th. Fine weather and windy. 5th. Fine weather but very windy. 6th. Same weather. 7th. The raising of the wind and Fortune's frolic were performed last night and very well done. 8th to 9th. Blank. 10th. The soldiers performed the brothers and the poor soldier tonight. 11th. I was not at the soldiers' play last night but understand it was very well done. Leighton goes to England the day after tomorrow. I have bought a pony from him for which I gave a bill for £13.15. 12th. The 43rd dine with us today. 13th. There is a grand fete today at Rodrigo for the installation of General Cole as Knight of the Bath. 14th. Cox, who had been sent on command to Salorico, returned today in Johnston with him. 15th. Not quite so windy. 16th. Mild day. 17th. Mild day. 18th. Same weather. 19th. Cloudy, warm day with a few drops of rain. I wish much it may rain to bring on the grass. It is said the French are advancing. 20th. Cloudy and looks as if it would soon rain. The Horse Artillery and General Alton and staff dine with us today, as well as the British officers of the 17th Portuguese Regiment, who have come to this brigade instead of the 20th. Colonel Barnard went to Espeja yesterday to resume the command of the 3rd Battalion. General Kempt was expected at Gallegos last night to take command of the 1st Brigade, Colonel Beckwith having been appointed on the staff in America. A mail arrived the night before last. 21st. Fine, warm day. It appears from the English papers that Joseph Bonaparte has gone from Valladolid to Madrid, Suchet is in Valencia, and Soult in Toledo. 22nd. It rained this morning until about 9 o'clock, the rest of the day was cloudy and windy. 23rd. Very windy, but not cloudy. Saw the first swallow today I have seen this year. 24th. Fine, clear day, rather windy. 25th. Fine, warm day. Bathed for the first time this year. Section in Code 26th. Windy day and rather cloudy. 27th. It appears by the Lisbon Gazette of the 22nd of this month that Sir J. Murray has landed at Alicante to take command of the Anglo-Sicilian Army. By the same Gazette, there is a Portuguese lottery advertised. Spanish gazettes, copied in the above, state confidently that Soult has gone to France and taken some proportion of the army with him. English papers also say that Caffarelli has gone. The army of Portugal, it appears, is commanded by Count d'Erlon, so that Count Suum, who came from France to take command of that army and who wrote such a flaming dispatch about the retreat of the British army from Burgos, must have taken his departure also. Today was a cloudy day with high, cold winds and sleet. 28th. Windy but not cold. 29th. Fine, warm day. We were inspected by our new brigadier, General Kempt. The men were in very high order. The 6 companies had on parade 505 rank and file, besides sergeants and buglers. 30th. Fine day. 31st. Very warm. A packet arrived last night. Towards afternoon, it rained a little. April 1st. Fine day. 2nd. Windy and cloudy, sleet. 3rd. Fine day. The 2nd Battalion dined with us today. Packet from England. General Kempt also dined with us. 4th. Windy day. As there is talk of a part of the regiment being detached to Castillejo de dos Casas, I walked there today. I think we shall be very, very comfortable. 5th. Fine day. 6th. The regiment is invited to dine with the 43rd today. I do not go. 7th. Fine day. I sold my long bat and forage to Mackenzie for £6. 8th. We had a brigade field day today on the plain between this and Espeja. The movements were done very badly indeed. 9th. Fine day. I rode to Almeida today. The dinner hour is altered to 4 o'clock, and we have an evening parade at 6. 10th. It is at last settled that our company and Smiths go to Castillejo. Showery today. 11th. Showery with sunshine. 12th. Same weather. 13th. Ditto, ditto. I understand there is to be no detachment of companies from this place. 14th. Rode to Freinade today. Saw a peasant in the village of Almeida today sowing lint. 15th. The theatricals of the division performed at Gallegos this evening. She Stoops to Conquer and The Apprentice. Lord Wellington was there. It rained at intervals today. 16th. Such officers as chose to send may get their full rations of corn about 7 leagues from here. They go tomorrow. 17th. No rain. It is in order for the 2 right companies to go to Castillejo de dos Casas on Monday after the field day, which will be on that day. We began collecting green forage by a general order yesterday. The horse artillery moved some days ago from Aldea del Obispo to make room for General Castaños and staff. 18th. We walked over today and divided the town of Castillejo. No rain. 19th. After the brigade field day on España Plain, our 2 companies marched and occupied Castillejo. We are to meet halfway to parade. No rain. 20th. I have a good quarter. Stewart is doubled up with me. We have good forage here. 21st. Met the 4 companies halfway to parade this morning and had a march beyond Aldea del Obispo. 22nd. The regimental mess breaks up today. 23rd. Paraded halfway this morning again. The Spaniards complain greatly of the lack of rain. 24th. Paraded halfway this morning for muster. Stewart mustered the regiment today. Mackenzie has been appointed paymaster of the depot. 25th. Met halfway to parade and had a march to Aldea del Obispo. I rode to Almeida today and saw that the lint, which I saw sown on the 14th, has sprung up. 26th. A windy day with sleet. 27th. Very windy and rainy. 28th. Same weather. I saw a peasant the other day at Almeida plowing. I asked him the price of the field he was plowing. He said he did not know but, pointing to the next, said that one was worth $35. I paced it, and it was 26 paces long and 7 paces broad. The peasantry about the frontiers here now are very active. They are plowing all their land. There is a great deal of land plowed up now that has not been cultivated since the first invasion of the country by the French. 29th. Rainy today, but not so cold. 30th. Fine day with very little rain. May 1st. Very rainy. 2nd. Same weather. Rode to Almeida. On my return met 3 wagons of the wagon train who were going to Almeida to be attached to our division. 3rd. Showery with sunshine. 4th. Fine day, no rain. 5th. Mackenzie cashed me a bill for £25. I paid 6 shillings and 1 penny a dollar. 6th. Fine day. There was a brigade field day ordered today on España Plain. We marched to the ground and were sent home again, General Kempt having fallen from his horse the other day. 7th. Very rainy. Rode as far as Fort Concepcion on my way to Almeida, but as the rain came on very heavily, I took shelter in the fort until it was over and then returned home. 8th. Went to Fort Concepcion today with my gun. In the main body of the work, there are 52 embrasures. There is one gate with a drawbridge on the side of the fort facing Aldea del Obispo, and in the center of the 3 curtains are passages into the ditch, from which there are many sally ports leading out into the country. In each angle of the curtain, there is a passage up to the ramparts. In the ditch opposite each curtain is a work, all of which are so completely destroyed that it is impossible to ascertain their exact form, but they appear to have had 6 embrasures each. The gateway leads through one of them. The circular outwork outside the ditch appears to have had 10 embrasures, 1/2 of it is completely destroyed. The outer work of all is so completely ruined that it is impossible to form an idea of what it once was. Today is a fair day at Almeida, as is the 8th of every month. There are an immense number of hawks in Fort Concepcion, one of which I shot. Showery today. 9th. Went to Almeida today, rode around the outside of the town's fortifications. It has 6 bastions, and in front of each curtain in the ditch is a work. One of them is what I have often thought would be useful, namely a double work, or one within another. Showery. 10th. There was a brigade field day today on España Plain. Lord Wellington, I understand, reviews the Blues tomorrow near Sabugal. A fine day without rain. 11th. A fine, hot day. Went out today to try and shoot some quail, which are very abundant here, but could not get them to rise. I shot a half-grown hare. 12th. Rode today down to the bridge of the Coa, where Crawford's fight took place. The ground is amazingly rocky and uneven. The bridge has 3 arches, one of which was destroyed by the French and repaired with wood. Came home through Almeida. A fine day. 13th. Went out quail shooting today. Killed a brace and missed a good many more. Showery. The 52nd Regiment had moved from Guinaldo to La Albergaria de Arganin to make room for some Spanish troops but have marched back again. General Alton had the mounted officers of the division at points today. 14th. Rainy day. 15th. Went to Vale de Mula to cut forage. A Portuguese sentry there said it was the governor of Almeida's order that it be cut there. Showery day. 16th. Fine, hot day. That concludes the 5th part of the story. Thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content.